In the last video, we looked at Goldberg's run in WCW and how, thanks to how he was booked, Goldberg was able to stand out in a sea of older superstars. Goldberg's run in WCW, no matter what you may think of his wrestling skills, was a success. Now we will see if that WCW success transferred over to the WWE. If you want to gain a better understanding of Goldberg's time in WCW, make sure to watch the previous video I uploaded. If you're ready to jump in, let's take a look at Goldberg's time in World Wrestling Entertainment. At WrestleMania 19 in 2003, a video package aired with some familiar music playing in the background. Fans were surprised when the video revealed that Bill Goldberg would be making his debut in the WWE the following night on Raw. Goldberg had agreed a 1-year contract just to test the waters and see if WWE was a good fit for him. Generally speaking, some ex-WCW superstars were wary of signing WWE contracts in the worry that they would be booked in bad positions, get buried or look lesser than the WWE originals. This would result in their stock value dropping way down. Goldberg though was smart enough to sign just a 1-year deal. Also at WrestleMania 19, The Rock defeated Stone Cold Steve Austin. The following night on Raw, The Rock, who was now a heel, claimed he had done it all in the WWE and pinning Austin was the last thing he needed to achieve. As Rock was about to say his goodbyes to the WWE audience, Goldberg's music played. He walked to the ring to a great ovation. He asked The Rock who's next and proceeded to spear him. For anyone who was a big fan of WCW during the Monday Night Wars, it was sure odd seeing Goldberg standing in a WWE ring on Raw. The next month, Bill Goldberg was booked to face The Rock at Backlash 2003. The crowd was split here, maybe even leaning more towards The Rock. During a pre-match promo, The Rock poked fun at Goldberg that actually got Rocky some massive cheers. During the match, Goldberg's offense was met with boos from a fair portion of the audience, as some fans wanted to show their loyalty to the WWE, even if Rock was booked as the heel. What I will say though is Goldberg held his own in this match and went longer than the typical WCW matches that he was accustomed to. The Rock vs Goldberg went for around 13 minutes bell to bell, and after 3 spears and a jackhammer, Goldberg defeated The Rock in his WWE debut. I enjoyed the match. While not a match of the year candidate for sure, I think the novelty of finally seeing the Goldberg entrance in WWE was pretty cool, and having him go straight for a top guy made sense as well. In his Raw debut match, Goldberg defeated 3 Minute Warning and then destroyed Christian the following week inside a steel cage. He then entered into a feud with Chris Jericho, a man he had some issues with backstage during their WCW days, but the two managed to be professional and Goldberg picked up the win at Bad Blood 2003. Things seemed to be going fairly well for Goldberg in the WWE up until this point, but then he entered his next feud. Goldberg would be setting his sights on the World Championship, which was currently held by Triple H. Goldberg was not shy, years later, in revealing that politics seriously affected his work life in WWE during this period of time. While we want to keep this video here looking at his professional career in WWE, I would say that yes, it's almost a guarantee that Triple H made a few moves to protect himself during this time. On the flip side, it's also been reported that Goldberg still didn't like to lose matches, a fact that's evident when you notice that Goldberg didn't lose a one-on-one match clean until WrestleMania 33 in 2017. It's also been said that Goldberg was not happy with how he was booked in WWE during this time. When we look at how Goldberg was previously booked in WCW, this leads us to believe that Bill just wasn't happy that he wasn't booked as an undefeated monster. I'd say that both men were overprotective of their characters and careers, and something just has to give in these kind of circumstances. It was also well known that Goldberg didn't blend in well with the rest of the WWE locker room, preferring to cut himself off from the other wrestlers. Goldberg was defeated at SummerSlam 2003 when he entered the Elimination Chamber and took a beating from Triple H and Evolution. Goldberg continued his feud with Triple H and defeated him for the World Heavyweight Championship at Unforgiven on September 21st, after agreeing to put his career on the line. Triple H, furious about this title loss, issued a $100,000 bounty on Goldberg. The bounty was claimed by Dave Bautista, but for more information about all of this, do check out my video on Evolution. Goldberg managed to retain the title at Survivor Series 2003 in a rematch with Triple H, but he lost the belt the following month at Armageddon during a triple threat match that also featured The Game and Kane. Before continuing on though, let's go briefly back to the Survivor Series. In 2003, Raw and SmackDown held brand-specific pay-per-views, with the big four being cross-brand. This meant that Raw and SmackDown stars could bump into each other at any time, and Goldberg managed to bump into Brock Lesnar while Brock was cutting a promo. Lesnar was gloating about how he could defeat anybody in the WWE, and Goldberg interrupted him, challenging the next big thing to think carefully about the statements he was making. Fast forward to the Royal Rumble match in 2004, and Goldberg was the 30th entrant. He dominated for the time he was in the ring, however interference from Brock Lesnar caused Goldberg to get eliminated. Goldberg declared that Brock Lesnar was next, and he would have to bide his time before getting a shot at the Beast. WWE No Way Out was a month later, and it was a SmackDown pay-per-view which featured the main event of champion Brock Lesnar versus challenger Eddie Guerrero. Stone Cold Steve Austin secured Goldberg a ticket to the event, giving Goldberg the advice of, "Don't do anything I wouldn't do." Goldberg would show up at No Way Out and get payback for the Royal Rumble as he cost Lesnar the WWE Championship. Brock Lesnar demanded a match against Goldberg at WrestleMania 20, and Steve Austin would serve as the special guest referee. I'm probably going to take some abuse here, but I'll admit it, I was actually looking forward to this match, maybe just as much as Rock vs Goldberg back at Backlash in 2003. This seemed like an attraction to me, and it was hard to pick a winner. What I didn't know though was that both guys were leaving the company after this match, something that all the fans knew in New York the night of WrestleMania 20. To be fair, Goldberg and Lesnar didn't do themselves any favours in this match. It was planned out really badly. Instead of both men running in at each other and violently ripping each other apart, it seemed to take forever for the two to lock up, and when they did, they would break off and lock up again, resulting in rather boring tests of strength. The fans knew both guys had not renewed their WWE contracts, so they both got booed by the faithful New York WWE crowd. Referee Steve Austin got more cheers than both competitors, and the match ended with Goldberg getting the win. Both men, however, would take the Stone Cold Stunner as they walked out of the company. Goldberg said of the match, "At the end of the day, we were up against an impossible task to entertain a group of people that 100% know you are both leaving after that match. Utter disdain is what we received from the fans. Would I change anything about it? Yeah, I would change everything about it." And so this was the end of Goldberg's first run in WWE. It's clear to see that WWE was not prepared to book Goldberg in the same fashion he was booked in WCW, and you really can't blame them either. Fans were a lot more smart in 2003 than what they were in 1997, and along with this, the fact that Goldberg wasn't seen as a team player by his peers only hurt his standing with the office. It's also been said that Vince McMahon wanted Goldberg to begin working more dates with WWE, and this was something that Goldberg refused to do. Relations between Vince McMahon and Goldberg remained frosty until Take-Two Interactive struck a deal with Goldberg to appear as a pre-order bonus in the WWE 2K17 video game, which also featured old rival Brock Lesnar as its cover star. Goldberg would go on a small promotional tour with 2K, and nearly 12 years after his first WWE run, Goldberg began teasing a return to the company as he and Brock traded insults while promoting the game. Goldberg appeared on ESPN SportsCenter where he revealed he would consider a return to the ring. This prompted Paul Heyman to challenge Goldberg to come back to Raw and answer the challenge of Brock Lesnar. Goldberg did indeed appear on Raw, and the Goldberg vs Lesnar match was booked for Survivor Series in 2016. While it's kind of funny that a video game made this match possible, it would definitely be interesting to see how WWE would now handle a match that was heavily rejected years prior. One thing is for sure though, the nostalgia for Goldberg was still pretty strong as he got some great crowd reactions during his WWE return. To the shock and amazement of everyone who watched, at Survivor Series on November 20th, Goldberg defeated Lesnar in 1 minute and 26 seconds. The match was booked like an old Goldberg WCW squash match, and the fact that this happened to the dominant Lesnar made this victory even more newsworthy. It was booked correctly in my opinion. I know I wasn't sure if I wanted to see a 15-minute Goldberg vs Lesnar match, so having Goldberg destroy the monstrous Brock Lesnar in such a decisive manner was a real shock. Never had Lesnar lost a main event like this before. Pleased with how this one-off appearance went, Goldberg announced he would be appearing in the Royal Rumble in 2017. He again showed that he had Lesnar's number by eliminating the Beast from the Rumble, but Goldberg himself would get eliminated by Undertaker. Brock was now pretty angry, and he would once again challenge Goldberg to a match at WrestleMania, of which Goldberg accepted. Before getting to Mania 33 in Orlando though, Goldberg won the Universal title when he defeated Kevin Owens at Fastlane in another quick match. Lesnar vs Goldberg was now set for WrestleMania 33, and the match would be for the Universal title. I was in the audience for WrestleMania 33 and the crowd was pretty much all behind Lesnar as he defeated Goldberg for the title, which, as stated earlier, was Goldberg's first ever clean one-on-one loss. I was also in attendance for Raw the next night, where it was announced that Goldberg would be addressing the audience when Raw went off the air. Goldberg took another loud booing that night on Raw, but the hostility eased up as Goldberg talked about how happy he was that his son got to see his last run with the WWE. The following year, Goldberg was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame at WrestleMania 34 weekend. And this brings us sadly to just a few days ago at WWE Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia. You know, even though this did have bad news written all over it, we sometimes just gotta remain hopeful as wrestling fans, and if nothing else, it would be a nice little nostalgia match. While we all would have preferred to see this match in 97 or 98, at least it was something we could still tune in for in 2019. The match was a mess, and at times things got dangerous when Undertaker landed awkwardly on his neck after a failed jackhammer and Goldberg spiked his head on a tombstone. The word is that Goldberg suffered a concussion during the match when he hit the ring post. Still, we can only hope this match serves as a lesson to the WWE and those superstars of yesterday that are seeking a big payday from these Saudi shows. Unfortunately, many newer fans of wrestling will now know Goldberg as the guy who had the awful match against Taker in 2019, which really isn't fair at all, no matter what you may think of Goldberg. So when all is said and done, I think it's fair to conclude that Goldberg's days in World Championship Wrestling were much better than his runs in the WWE.